Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Barbie Talks. I'm your real and raw Barbie, giving you everything real and raw. And today, I know we were supposed to go to healing developmental trauma, but I'm trying to set us up on a path where we're really working our way up. I'm sorry, you cannot deal with your trauma if we can't hone in on what the subconscious mind is lacking and what is the limiting beliefs there and what's going on in the subconscious. Because yes, everything trails back to developmental trauma, anything that happened in your childhood, but at the same time, I think focusing on the subconscious, and I'll explain to you guys what we're doing in this episode because I have some interactive activities will help guide you in there. A big thing that I've been learning about this process is although your past is really important to understand who you are, that's not who you are. That's not who you're embodying. That is not your end state. That's not your story anymore. So understanding, yes, you had undesirable circumstances in the past. Yes, things have happened in the past, but we don't want to live in this path of personal development. We don't want to live so much in the future where it's getting negative, and yes, we need to address those things, but we're not going to focus on them. So I think the path that I'm kind of turning it around to is going to perfectly trail us into healing developmental trauma. I really want to start with Joseph Murphy's The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. So if you guys are looking forward to hearing me annotate this, hear more of my thoughts in the interactive activities, of course, follow this channel. And if you are on YouTube, I know you see the quality. Of course, hit the subscribe button. And last episode, I gave you guys a bonus of what will be on Patreon. And even that's not really what I want to do on Patreon. I'm doing a lot of work on the back end right now to figure out how I'm formatting Patreon in a way where it's kind of like courses where we're going through the steps together and we're working through certain core topics. So for example, like what we're doing today about the subconscious mind could be about like a week to 2 week kind of course where we're all holding each other accountable, we're doing readings, etc. So last episode with the Patreon wasn't the best example of how fully the bonus episodes would be, but also showing how it's kind of those core topics, but the same thing we're talking about here. So I won't talk our ear anymore about the logistics. So let's get into the power of your subconscious mind. I have been absolutely fascinated with Joseph Murphy and Neville Goddard. Joseph Murphy was actually Neville Goddard's apprentice, his student, which is how Joseph Murphy got his teachings in his book. He didn't start writing The Power of Your Subconscious Mind until he was like 60. That was his best book, sold so many copies. So also keep that in mind. It doesn't matter your age when you get to where you need to get to. But I listened to The Power of Your Subconscious Mind 1.5 times, and I listened to study notes by Jose Rodriguez on YouTube, and I'll link everything below. And of course, healing developmental trauma will still be in our Google Drive, as well as I don't have an actual book for The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, but I'll find it to put it in there for you guys. Overall, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind is exactly what it sounds like. Combine everything that I've talked about in the past few episodes is all in this one book. So this book explains how to deal with work-life crisis, personal crisis, personal crisis, internally, family crisis, relationship crisis, and how all of these things actually stem back to the things that are hidden in your subconscious mind. This is really important for me to address this so early on. I'm going to redo another annotation of The Power of Your Subconscious Mind and dive even deeper because this book is absolutely amazing. Recommend listening to audio, annotating it on paper, annotating it on Apple Books or Kindle, but absolutely amazing. Really helps change your perspective on a lot. But with that being said, it takes an open mind, right? This concept is very odd and very particular. So you have to understand with your subconscious, we've explained this before, our conscious is actually very objective, and our subconscious is actually subjective, which means our subconscious is just going with what we're throwing at it with life. It doesn't understand what's truly happening on a reality. It's just taking everything at face value. The best way to describe your subconscious is it cannot take a joke. If you are saying you are unable to pay your rent, you are unable to achieve this dream, you are unable to do something, which subconscious mind, please, I'm not talking about us. It's that literal. I know someone's going to be like, girl, but no, it is actually that literal. Your subconscious mind is so literal to the extent that it believes every single thing that comes out of your mouth. That's why in the book, he has a whole chapter talking about intentionality and speaking in a way that is always positive and rewriting your words. So this morning, I listened to 2 of his lectures, and I've been annotating the book to give you guys, and it's very consistent through. You have to shuffle your words. You have to put things in a more positive light. Anytime you are having a moment of, I can't do this, I can't do that. So he basically informs us to restructure our sentence and open it to receive. This trails us into our first activity. I really encourage you, which it might seem a little out of order, the activity, so kind of just make a mental note and see what sticks for you and what doesn't. The first activity that symmetrically aligns with what I'm telling you guys, write on a piece of paper, one side, my job, and the other side, God, universe, whoever you would like to refer to the creator as, or who you are looking up to, their job. I say this because when you shuffle your words in a manner of, I'm open to receive, or I am open to receive what my destined path has for me. I'm open to receive any opportunities that you think are best for me. I'm open to receive any lessons or things that'll help me become my best self. You actually open yourself up to really become this unstoppable force that is now getting all of these opportunities. These problems aren't always problems. There's opportunities to show your strength. So now you're having these opportunities to show how strong you are, how resilient you are. And this is allowing your character to mold. This is allowing your character to shine through those cracks, through those tough times. So when we reshuffle those words and open it up to receive, you actually see such a big change. And when you do this list, I still have to do my list actually, and not mentally. I know I have a really bad habit of mentally doing stuff. No, write it down. Take it from me. Write it down, tear it up. Tear it up. Write it down, light it on fire. Write it, flush down the toilet. It doesn't exist anymore after you write it. That's the beauty of writing. You can get your thoughts out, get your feelings out, and then you can just destroy it. And it is now done. It is dealt with, and now we move on. So in that list of saying what my job is and what God or the universe's job is, you actually open yourself up to see there's a lot beyond me. It is not my job to know how I am getting $5,000 within the next month. It is not my job to know where I'm finding my significant other or where my life partner is. It is not my job to understand why I am going through certain trials and tribulations. What my job is to be open to receive, give gratitude, show gratitude to myself, show gratitude to the people around me, and also just take every opportunity as a way to strengthen yourself rather than allowing it to tear you down. And obviously there's situations that are very tough, very undesirable, but if you can find the silver lining in every situation and see the glass half full, you'll actually be able to format this personality that's able to go through these tough times and still see a benefit from it, which many people can't, and which in congruence to that, now God and the universe sees this effort, sees you doing this, and now that blessing has been given to you. That reward has happened to you. That shift is now being so visible, you're able to actually see like, whoa, my life is changing, or whoa, when I relax and I don't obsess, I don't overthink, I don't just persist in something so negatively, and when I don't live in the end, I actually get more from when I was doing all the things that I assumed, obviously, i.e., obsessing, overthinking, overplanning, overcompensating, that which we've been taught that's going to give you success. If you got a little lost, keep the key points of that. Just when you want to rewire your subconscious with any inner thoughts, you first need to understand what are you saying and how to reshuffle it to be open to receiving. And receiving is not always monetary. Receiving is not always physical. Receiving comes in many forms. So just beware when you open that can of worms to be ready for that. And I really, really encourage you to write the list of what my job is and what God or the universe's job is, because it actually centers you to say, whoa, okay, all I got to do is just be consistent or be disciplined. It really helps ground you to not feel like you kind of have the weight of the world on your back. So another thing he really emphasized was bad habits. Bad habits form from what your subconscious mind is constantly seeing in your reality, and they're assuming that's your personality. They're assuming that's you. If you are not showing up for yourself, then it's going to correlate in ways when you try to be consistent with something or when you try to attract someone. It's going to show up in different ways because the subconscious mind is so intelligent, so smart to the extent that it tries to give us these warning signs from the exterior to kind of let us know like, hey, red flag, blinker, red blinker, you need to work on this. This is what needs to be improved. You have to do this. You have to do that. But, we neglect it because we ask for our signs. We ask for signs of, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? And it's not the way we want it to go, or not a direct sign in front of our face, do this. We don't believe it. So understand that your bad habits can obviously always be changed. 21 days it takes to break a habit. Have I reached my 21 days yet? No, but we are starting our 21 days today. Actually, yeah, we'll start it today because I like to start stuff on a fresh note. So it does take 21 days to gain a new habit / break an old one. So anytime you're doing any subconscious kind of practice, such as nightly subliminals, nightly affirmations, any kind of affirmations, morning gratitude, they highly recommend you do it for 21 days because that really not only puts an impression in your subconscious mind because you're building that habit, but now you're also breaking that bad habit in the process of that. So another activity to identify your bad habits is put on one side, and that you have to be very candid with yourself. I did this over the weekend and a little tough, but you have to be very honest with yourself in this moment. Think of yourself as a snake. You're shedding your old skin. You cannot shed that old skin if you cannot say what is not serving you anymore. If you cannot figure out the traits, the attributes that you have that are not serving you and contributing to your end goal, if you cannot be candid about that, it's going to take you a while, and it's tough. It's hard. I say this every episode. Give yourself grace. But with this list can also give you such clarity of why your life isn't moving and you're very stagnant. So on one side, you're going to put what are your bad habits that are hindering you from where you want to be. So for me, it's consistency. Consistency stems from discipline. So, okay, now for me, I know discipline is the top part of what's contributing to all of these bad habits. So if we get the discipline in line and kind of tie that up, wrap it in a bow and get that together, then ideally everything else would flow. And then the other side is things that will help, habits that will help. You don't love people that can just immediately go into a new belief system and immediately go into a new embodiment and just like persist. But that's not everyone. So I recommend starting small. Obviously, with this list, you can put almost anything you need to like mentally have you write it out on paper, see where you need to go. But small habits could just literally be, I take 10 minutes in the morning and listen to a gratitude video, or I take 10 minutes in the morning and I write in my journal. I take a 5-minute walk every day. The biggest misconception with this personal development journey and people just growing, they think that they have to do this complete like 360. No. The small steps help. They add up. And you don't realize it in the moment how those little things kind of also put impressions on your subconscious mind, but they change the way you move every day, but it helps you. So that activity also can show you, okay, what is truly hindering me from where I need to be, and what do I need to do to get to where I need to go? Sometimes it's hard to kind of even find direction. So doing activities like this really helps you identify like what is going on here. And so it's okay. Like sometimes we just don't realize, and even writing down those habits, you still probably will miss some important things just because it's natural. We don't fully know ourselves, I think. But being very candid with yourself, very open, and just allowing those thoughts to naturally flow free and giving yourself a safe space allows you to, identify those things. So we are reaching the midway point. I don't have a TNT because, like I said, this episode is a little more of an annotation. And to me, this episode is kind of a little filler episode where I'm kind of tying some strings together, bringing in some new concepts. I'm going to do a deeper annotation of this, of course, because this book is so fascinating, so amazing. No way you can fit this into one episode. Like, I'm not even doing it justice. I promise you guys, I am barely scratching the surface here. Another topic that he talks about is reality. This is really controversial to people. The Matrix talk. The Matrix is real. The Matrix is not real. 3D isn't real. Or the 3D is real. What we're physically experiencing is real. And all of these kind of concepts that really don't matter. What matters is you. That's what it is. I need you guys to understand your life is a mirror from within. What you feel and believe about yourself is being reflected into your outer world. What you are afraid of becomes your reality. What you don't want becomes your reality. Point blank, period. This whole extra talk, when you look at it in that way, okay, yeah, it is a matrix. Yeah, the 3D isn't real, because if it's just me I need to work on and my life's a mirror, then I just work on me and then my life will change or things will become better. So in that point of view, we can look at it there, but don't allow the extra noise of all these different terms and verbiage to steer you away from such a beautiful journey. Don't allow not knowing if you should call universe, God, higher self, spirit. Don't let all of those extra words limit you from this, because you need to understand it's within you. And understanding that what you are afraid of is truly translating in your life. That's obviously not saying if I'm scared of the dark, everything's dark. No. What your subconscious mind feels you are lacking, that has now become your habit and has become your life, will directly reflect your reality. This is no option here. This is no argument. And with this theory, before we even go deeper in that, this is a lot of example based. I cannot tell you guys, here's a book, a textbook, and we have all of these world-renowned people and this tangible stuff. I cannot tell you that with this stuff I'm going to tell you on the podcast. But what I can tell you is, if you feel like all hope is lost and you want to try something new, what do you have to lose by trying these methods? What do you have to lose by shuffling your mentality, shuffling your words into a positive tone? What do you have to lose by investing in yourself and knowing that you deserve more from this life? Don't you want more from this life? Do you not even understand how not investing in yourself and not thinking that this method is true is actually just a slap in the face to yourself that you have to be subjected to the undesirable circumstances in this life. That's insane to me. This life is so beautiful, you guys. There's so much to see. There's so much to experience. And we just do ourselves such a disservice when we think that it has to look a certain way. It has to look like struggle. It has to look like hard times. It has to look like I have to reach the bottom, then I can go to the top. No, because if I'm being 1,001% honest with you, who I truly want my target audience to be is little children ages 12 to 18, because the sooner you start this ideology, you can really work your way through life's challenges. And then this perception of life has to be a struggle, it has to be hard work, it has to be this trauma-based, now disintegrates because you're just going with the flow. You're going with the motion of the ocean, and you're not allowing this stuff to tear you down because you know it's molding you. You know it's building your character. You know it's setting you up for that end state, that end being, that desired state. And I know I'm not speaking so much on like the subconscious when I'm bringing up these topics or like trailing it back in, oh, subconscious this, subconscious that. But on this podcast, I highly encourage everyone to think at a higher level. And it's not like, oh, think at a higher level in a rude way, but really expand your thought process. When I'm saying these things, if my subconscious mind is subjective and X, Y, and Z, then, oh, this is trailing from this. If my subconscious mind is impressionable and I had all this trauma when I was a kid, and now it's so deeply ingrained that I am not worthy of X, Y, and Z, or this has to be hard to accomplish, if I started that at a younger age, maybe my life wouldn't, you guys get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not verbally coming out and saying subconscious mind, subconscious mind, subconscious mind, but all of these factors are from your subconscious mind. It is so deeply ingrained and deeply saturated because we're not taught this. We're not taught your conscious and subjective mind. We just really think it's your conscious. I never knew. Yeah, I never even really knew there was I wish you guys can go on my YouTube though. Like, I don't even know I was about to say that. I was gonna say I wish you guys knew me before this. You can go on my YouTube. There is so many videos of me sobbing, me being upset at life, me like, I'm taking a break, I'm at this, I'm at that, and I didn't know any better. I didn't know that these things were helping me to be in the now, to provide you guys with a platform, a safe space where you can explore those thoughts, explore how do you become your better person, and, God willingly use some of my techniques and become that desired end state, or use the people I recommend to push you to that end state. And the truth of it all was I did not make this person. I was always this person. I was always this girl. I remember being younger and somebody was like, you should be a therapist. Or I just always was the therapist friend, and I never seen value in that. But I would speak to my friends like this. So I used to always speak very candid with my friends in this expansive mindset, but I never knew why, how, or what it was. So it wasn't correlating with me, right? It wasn't correlating in my actions. I wasn't able to shift my reality and shift my mindset because I didn't understand how I was directly experiencing life was telling me what I needed to work on with myself. And although I was helping people and people were seeing this in me, I didn't see it in myself. I didn't see this power, this energy of, hey, like, let's do some research. Like, let's start reading. Reading is good. Reading is not bad. This is good. I know we got off a little tangent, but I hope you guys are understanding what the point of me saying that story was, because in living in the end state, in reprogram your subconscious mind, it's nothing new. You have all of this stuff in you. It is in you. That fire is in you. That drive is in you. That whatever you want to be, that end state is in you, or you wouldn't experience it. I have friends doing a variety of things in life. I would never be like, I don't have a desire to do the things that they're doing, because that's not my story. That's not what I was made for. Yes, I love what they're doing. I'm so supportive and like naturally like, oh, I wish I can do that. But it's not a hunger to be them, because I'm not them. I'm me. I was given such a immense energy and purpose. We all were. That is meant for us. Our subconscious mind is so impressionable. It's been impressioned since we've come out the womb. But what has never changed was our purpose, our path. That was always there. That's just the truth. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Yes, you can recreate yourself, rebrand yourself to something new, but that rebrand, if you're truly being true to how you're feeling and your intuition and your gut, is never too off the storyline. You're just upgrading. You're leveling up. You're becoming someone new. The reprogramming of your subconscious mind, the personal development, and all of these things aren't becoming a new person. It is becoming that person. It is becoming the person you know you can be. That higher self is that person you were since birth. This is not someone you are creating from scratch. These are traits, skills that you have had forever. You're just unlocking it now. You're just believing in yourself. You're just seeing it now. And I know we really went off just a little off topic with that, but I need you guys to understand this is not a trying process in terms of like rewiring your brain and understanding the subconscious mind, understanding what you need to work on, and understanding how to level up your life. It's not a trying process because it's in you. You just have to give yourself grace and trust the end result. Have faith, believe, and understand that this is my story no matter what. I'm not signing to this prior storyline. That's not me. This was a reflection of X, Y, and Z that I have now grown from, and now this is me. This is how I show up. This is who I am embodying. This is what my life has been for. This is my life's purpose. And when you get aligned with that, it's so crazy. And just a few other notes that I had just about little taglines of your subconscious mind that I got from Jose was, your subconscious mind believes your convictions. So that's why when they say speak with conviction, when you're speaking with conviction, you should be speaking morally, truth, and aligned with you. And of course, speaking with confidence. So now if your subconscious is believing your convictions and you are just constantly like, I hate my life. It's horrible. I don't get this. I don't get that. And you're saying it with your chest. That's what your subconscious mind is thinking. When you're speaking in a way of like, yes, this is my life, this will happen, or thank you, God, thank you, universe, for providing me with this, or I'm so grateful for this, I'm so grateful for that, or I know this is molding me. Now, your subconscious mind isn't immediately taking a dig. It's just like, okay, shoot. They're going with the vibes. They're going with the vibes. They're here. They're understanding that it's not a trying process, but it's a process that takes time. And your subconscious also magnifies what you give attention to. So this is why the law of manifestation gets really lost in translation, because some people think when you obsess, that's how you get your goals, when no, that's not how you get your goals. You have to understand and believe it is already done. Live in that, live in the faith, and live in the belief that you will be gifted that opportunity if it is divinely aligned with you, and you will receive that. I actually did manifest money the other day, and I thought it was so funny because in that not trying to obsess, you also have to be a little specific. You can't be too general. And I realized I was a little too general with my manifestation. Still so grateful for the opportunity. It's literally going to help me. But still be specific, but not obsessing. Stop contradicting what you affirm. This is really what we're going to end on. Stop contradicting what you affirm. Stop contradicting what you affirm. Stop contradicting what you affirm. This looks like you do an affirmation. An affirmation could say, I'm worthy of opportunities that come to me. I'm open to receive. And then like 2 minutes later, someone gives you something. You're like, oh, I don't know if I could trust them. I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I... And it's like now you're doing all these contradicting thoughts. And it's like, whoa, what did you just affirm? What did you just say? So also making sure that you're catering before we even get into that, don't get lost in the sauce with all the mindset coaches right now, the life coaches, Sprinkle, the Wizard Liz, the Universe Guru, all of these people, they're amazing, they're great. Just don't get yourself so overly saturated and so overwhelmed that you're like pulling affirmations from everyone and doing all this stuff. No, you really have to look at your life. What do you need right now? What do you need to affirm? Do you need to make your own customized affirmations? Do you need to reach out to a coach for them to make a customized plan for you? So you have to make sure you're affirming what you need so you are not contradicting in your day-to-day life. And contradicting is simply not having faith. When you affirm something, when you are actually affirming something, it's signed and done. When you affirm something, you are saying it is to be true. It is there, it has happened, and it's done. So how can you even kind of double back on something you affirmed? It's a double-ended sword. It's a paradox. It just doesn't make sense. So really make sure that when you are putting together your affirmations, that they're customized to you. Obviously, there's 1,001 Pinterest, 1,001 YouTube videos. So whatever you need, it's out there. But don't just affirm to affirm, because that's not going to help you. You need to make sure you're affirming what you need in this moment in time and what you're working on. And I found it so funny, hilarious actually. Once again, another alignment moment. I actually just gave a small speech about seeds and plants and the growth. And he used in his study tips from this little quote that you're not allowing your seed to grow. When you contradict your affirmations, it's like you're pulling the seed out the ground and like, hey, why aren't you growing? Or like you're pulling it out the ground and still expecting it to grow. And you can't do that. You really just have to walk away from it. And I get it. I get the bills. I get the situation. I get the undesirable circumstances. But you have to create a space with yourself where you're able to relax enough to receive. And you're able to relax enough where you're able to talk within yourself and tune into your higher self and talk to God, where you are able to understand what you need to do next. If you're unable to do that, it's going to get really, really difficult. So I know we went a lot in this episode, but overall, I really enjoyed how he referenced all of these concepts as your anchor. And when you're on the boat, we know your anchor is what is keeping your ship from moving. So all of these activities were meant to lift your anchor, stop your blockage. What is your blockage? What is your anchor right now? So I encourage you to really think of that and do these activities. Of course, it'll be linked down below. Maybe if I'm feeling nice, I'll make a Google Doc of all the activities so you guys have it written out. And thank you so much for tuning in today. I just want you to know you are deserving of every single thing you want in this world. And I'm so eternally grateful for you listening to this episode. Don't forget to follow this channel and subscribe to me on YouTube. All of our links are down below. And bye.